gents. It's getting up and down, that's a tricky part. Let's relax. When you're ready, ladies, there's no gents. Come into your set position and just placing your heels beneath your hips. Softening, relaxing through the knees and being as tall as you can. So get the feeling you're pulling the head up to the ceiling and almost lifting off of your heels. And feel like that just creates a little bit of space between each of your vertebrae. Chin slightly nods in, so we're looking forwards, and then we're going to turn the palms and gently draw the shoulder blades together and then slide the hands down so you can physically feel your shoulder blades draw into the back of your rib cage. Just aware the front of the ribs haven't flared, so soften them down a little to activate our upper abdominals, and from here we're just going to sway. So keep our neutral spine. Take a gentle sway forward onto the balls of your feet, and then take a sway back into your heels. We're holding the length in our spine as we sway forwards, and we're trying not to let the ribs flare as we sway back. Excuse me. So the whole time we're maintaining that neutral position and just letting the movement come through the ankles. Shoulder blades keep drawing down. The next time we sway forward onto the balls of the feet, take a double arm float. So you're going to breathe out, let the arms float, and then take a soft breath in as you sway onto your heels. As you sway onto the balls of the feet, let the heels become a little lighter, almost just peel a little off the ground. She's not that daft, that dog. Now she's eating a stick, she's going to take the biscuit, now she's going back for the fish stick. Prioritising. Now, if you feel that's not enough of a challenge and you can't feel those deeper muscles starting to work, feel free just to close the eyes. Moving slowly so we feel that deeper connection to maintain our neutral spine as we sway and hopefully not fall over. 2 more here. Slow in breath as you ease back. I'm going to keep my eyes open, I'm going to fall over. And then breathing out as you come forwards. Just coming back into your set position and holding here where it's nice and safe. A little roll back again with the shoulders, and we're going to come into our dumb waiter. So turning your palms up. Pull your elbows in towards your rib cage and dumb waiters. So your thumbs gently pushing towards the outside, then towards the back of the room. Aware that as you're opening the front of the shoulders, you're not pushing your rib cage forward. So we're holding the ribs slightly down, and that way we start to use our upper abdominals to stabilise our rib cage and our upper back. Then we can add in a double heel raise. So we're not swaying forward, we're pulling up towards the ceiling. You're pressing evenly through the balls of the feet, and we're going to keep the knees soft and relaxed. Soft breath in as you ease down, and again breathing out as you rise. Try and take the shoulder blades to almost touch your spine. And again, just aware those ribs don't push forward as we bring that working connection into our upper back. So 2 benefits to the dumb waiter. It's opening the front of the shoulders and it's connecting into the mid-back and upper back. So the more we release the front of the chest and shoulders, the better the muscles in our upper back can work, which helps to maintain our posture. So let's come into our last one here and then float the hands back down. Into your tandem stance, your right foot coming forwards. So try making sure all 10 toes point to the front and bring your weight even. Relax the knees and open the knees a little from the hips into your neutral spine, shoulders and ribs hold down. We float the arms forward, just your right arm pulls back. You're going to reach out to the diagonal and then into the centre. Right arm again. Really focus on keeping your left shoulder rolled back and down in towards the rib cage. Now once you've got your left shoulder locked into position, think about the front of the ribs. As you're rotating, trying to hold the front of the rib cage down. So we're not allowing the distance between the front of the ribs and the hips to increase. We're still pulling the crown of the head up towards the ceiling to keep that lengthened feeling through our spine. 2 to go here. Each time as we draw the arm back, feel we initiate again the movement from the shoulder blade, and then hold it in centre, and bringing the hands back down towards your thighs. Take your right leg back, just a short step, and we're going to come to our hip hinge. So we're going to hinge forward, this is our start position. We bend the knees and we float the arms. Here we're going to seesaw the arms, keeping again our neutral spine, hands in line with shoulders, and push up out the front heel. So the hips go back and down as the arms float forward. Chin is nodded in. Now just be aware that you're not trying to grip the floor with your toes on that front foot. As you sit back into the hips, feel the weight goes back into the heel. As you're moving the arms, keeping the weight in that left heel, and then push out the left heel as you rise. So always leading back with the bottom. And try and feel, notice your right foot. Try and keep that nice and light, especially here, as we rise. Let's go with our last 4 here. Chin slightly nodded in, so we're not looking forward, so we keep the alignment of the neck with the spine. If it feels comfortable, if you want to challenge yourself, come a little bit lower into that standing leg. And then push out the front heel as you rise. Last 2. Try and breathe in. Breathe out as you open the arms. Taking a soft breath in. Breathe out to open. Soft breath in. And then breathe out on the rise. One last time. Sticking the bottom out. The more you pull the bottom back, the more you're going to work the front of your thigh and your glutes and work for your balance. Slow rise and step in. Bring the left foot forward. Get it if you want. You can have it. All 10 toes pointing forwards. So back to your neutral spine. And again here you might find the knees want to drop in a little. So up in the knees from the hips and lengthening through the crown of the head. Shoulders draw down as the arms float forwards. Left arm only. Keep it low just by the side of your rib cage. Open and drag the hand back to centre. You can almost imagine you're dragging your hand through water. It's almost creating a little bit of resistance as you draw the arm back to centre. Get it? Breathe in through your nose. Now breathe out through the mouth and drag the hand back into centre. Still being aware of your right shoulder, drawing the shoulder blade down and into the back of the rib cage. Think about the front of the ribs, don't let them flare as you rotate. So think about the length from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone, keeping each vertebrae stacked, especially when you rotate. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Feel the weights even through both of your feet. Toes are relaxed. Knees still open from the hips. And coming in to your last one. And then from there, float the hands down. Your left leg strides back. So from this position, your left foot takes a small stride back. We've got our neutral spine, but we're hinged. So the bottom is physically behind your heel. From there, we lead back with the bottoms. If you're going to kneel on the floor, we float the arms, and then we seesaw the arms. Then we press out the front heel, and we pull the shoulder blades back. Breathing in through the nose. Breathe out to open. I have no balance at all. Breath in, out to open. Soft breath in, and breathe out to rise. So the more you pull your hips back and bend your knees rather than your spine, the more work we're going to feel around the right leg, the right hip, and the more stability we create around the knee, the hip, and the ankle. But still very aware of that lengthened feeling throughout our spine. Get it. Breathe in. Sorry, I'm not talking to you ladies. Dog's just wanting the fish stick but won't get it for some reason. I think she tries to control me. So if you can, pull the hips a little further back. Just find that point where you're really feeling a challenge through the standing leg. And don't push off the toes as you rise, push off the heel. Before you rise, try and make the back foot light and focus on just trying to push out that front heel. Feel like that brings a little bit more activation, a little bit more drive through the glutes. Pushing up tall, and one more time. In as you lower, out on the lift, in, out to lift. Take a breath in, and breathe out and rise. Give the legs a little shake. We're going to come into our lunges and we're going to add the side bends into our lunges. So the hands by your thighs and your palms in. Your right leg first, strides back. You're going to bring the hands to the head. Drop the shoulders and bend your back knee. Take a side bend to your left. Come back into the centre and step forward, hands to thighs. Left leg strides back, feet to hip distance. Bend the back knee. Let the ear tip towards your right shoulder. Now when you tip, just before you tip, tuck the bottom and brace your core. So as you tip, the legs don't move. The movement is coming through the spine. The challenge for your balance is through our legs. Tucking the tailbone. So as you sink into that lunge, we're also going to feel a little stretch down the back of your, down the front of your thigh, sorry. Tuck the tailbone, sink a little deeper if that feels okay. Now like me then, you might feel that front knee wants to wobble. So when you stride back, if this knee's dropping in, try and draw the knee out from the hip so it just switches on a few more stability muscles around the pelvis and hopefully helps with the balance. Since we've run out of fish sticks, this dog has not laid down for a full class. There must have been something in them. Tuck the tailbone, relax the shoulders down, and really stretch up through the side of your body as you reach the arm up towards the ceiling. Again, before you do that, squeeze the bottom, stabilise your hips. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Push through the heel and rise. We've got 3 left. Feel the pubic bone slightly drawing up here at the front. Feel how that helps to increase the stretch down the hip as you lift the arm. If you can, last on each side, maybe striding a little further back. Keep your elbows open so the elbow comes towards the outside of the hip as you tilt. One more time. So the arms and the shoulders are also starting to wake up. And then push through the heel and hold here. Release the shoulders. Let's find a little bit more balance. So staying with our right leg again, we're going to come into our neutral spine. We're going to roll back with the shoulders and lengthen all the way to the crown of the head. Right knee lifts. Lift the heel and lift the knee. Take a double arm float. Now as the knee comes back, turn your palms forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. Taking a breath in as you extend, and then breathe out, hold heart shoulder blades together. Now when you take the leg back, you can tap down on the floor, or stay with just a hover. And when you come forward, you can tap on the floor, or bring the knee to hip level, or just below hip level. And really feel that when you rise, you're bringing your shoulders all the way back above your hips. As we extend the arms forward, the shoulder blades, still a little connection, drawing down into the back of your rib cage. 2 more here. Thinking about our core, belly button softly drawn through towards the spine. Feel the length in the spine here, and maintain the length in the spine here. Bring the knee just again below hip level, and hold, and then ball of foot, and heel down. So let's change sides. Don't be driving me insane. I think she's wanting some attention this morning. So back to your neutral position. Lift the left heel. Without the hips wiggling from side to side, so you brace your core and then you lift your knee. Leg extends back, arms float forward, so you're not reaching forward. And we're going to focus on keeping those shoulders held back in line with the ears. The more we hold that little pinch between the shoulder blades that we created at the very beginning, the more it's going to stop the upper back rounding as we hinge forwards. Now feel the breath. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Float the arms, relax the shoulders, extend that back leg, and then bring the foot to a tap or just below your hip. Think about your core. Engage your core just before you hinge forward, so you can still see we've got that length all the way from the crown of the head all the way down to your toes. 2 more here. Feel the weight staying in your standing heel. Pull up through the crown of the head, so again you've realigned your spine here, and one last time. And then as we come into centre without too much of a wobble, foot down and heel down. The rest of it we're going to do lying down before I completely wobble over today. We're going to get into side line work. I'm going to do our scissor legs because we've not done those for a little while. So when we start to work with our scissor legs, as much as we are focused on moving the legs, we're focused on stabilising here between the ribs and the hips at the side. So our setup is important. We've got both legs extended. It's nice I can put my head down without it hurting my face. Underneath, arm extended with your palm up, or your arm forward with a block or a cushion here if you prefer. We sometimes use our top shoulder a little to stabilise, which is fine, but making sure the shoulder isn't forward of your ear, so you shouldn't be able to see the top of your shoulder. Roll it back. Top leg a little bit longer than your bottom leg. Now lift the leg no higher than your hip, draw your core in. If you can, lift the bottom leg or keep the bottom leg lowered on the floor. As we start to scissor the legs, one leg moves forward and one leg moves back. Fingertips are light, the shoulder is down at the back of the rib cage, and it's not a big movement with the legs, it doesn't need to be. If you make the legs too big, you're going to keep changing the position of the spine. So finding a range of movement with the legs where you can hold the shoulders in set position, the front of the ribs slightly down, tailbone softly drawing towards the heels so it's keeping that lengthened feeling all the way through your spine. That shoulder might start to roll forward, so keep drawing the shoulder blade back in towards the rib cage. Lengthen your top leg, try and keep it longer than your bottom leg the whole time. And as you do that, you're going to feel that bottom rib starts to ease slightly away from the floor, or if not, try and lift the waist up a little off the ground, and once more each way. We come into the centre, bring your top leg up to your bottom leg. Now breathe in lower to a hover, and then breathe out just level with the hips as the legs lift. So to a hover, and then the out breath with the lift. Again, our main focus is this bottom rib. Try not to push the rib cage into the floor. Also, try not to let the feet separate as you lift your legs. Think about the shoulder blade drawing back and down into the rib cage. 4 here, not too high. 3, if you lift too high, that bottom rib will collapse. 2, and then your last one. That challenges the inner thigh. Bring the knees forward. Bring your underneath arm forward. So we're going to release the shoulder. Knees are stacked. Underneath hand comes forward here, so the hands are aligned and your head rested. Your top arm reaches over the head. You turn the palm up and then you try and turn your eye gaze up to the ceiling as you circle the arm back. As you circle the arm back, you're going to feel a different stretch coming through the chest, the shoulder. Arm comes just below shoulder level, and then you bring the arm back to centre, eye gaze forwards. So again, let the arm come up, turn the palm up, keep the front shoulder pressed down, the head's on the floor, you're looking up towards the ceiling here, you're gently moving through the stretch in your chest and your shoulder, and then you bring your hand back to centre. So the head might lift a little here, but when you start to take the arm back, let the head come down. So you roll onto the back of the head, nose points to ceiling, and your front knee keeps pushing forward. And that's going to help to keep your knees and your hips stacked. Let's go with 2 more. Breathe in, turn the palm up. Roll across the back of the head, keep that front knee push forwards. Let the arm feel heavy as it circles to the back. And one more time. And we're all tight through different parts of the chest and the shoulder. So you might want to just take it back this time. When you feel your stretch in your chest or your shoulder, hold it just a little bit longer. Take a breath in. Breathe out, let the arm feel a little heavier. Keeping the elbows slightly bent, and that's going to help to increase the stretch. And then bring the arm back level with your shoulder and close the hands down. See, I can be nice. From there, let's roll onto the back and bring both knees in up above our hips. So knees coming up into tabletop position. Gently pushing the knees forward so the knees are in line with the hips, but don't let the feet drop below the knees. Lift up the feet so we're at 90 here. Now imprint the lower back, soft tilt back with the pelvis. We circle. Right leg lowers about halfway down. We're going to circle the knee out and bring it back to the centre. Then the left leg halfway down. Circle from the hip and then bring it back into the centre. Just check the chin is slightly nodded in. Your biggest focus is keeping a little tilt back with the pelvis. So as you move your leg, you're not allowing the back to lift off the ground. The back isn't forced into the floor, you just feel there's a light connection with your belly button being drawn through towards the spine to hold the spine in place. And those muscles get challenged more as they resist the weight of the leg, moving the spine and the hips. So we lock into our core first, stability, the trunk of the body, and the movement from that hip joint. You can bring a bit of focus to your buttocks. Try and feel that your weight's even on both buttocks. And as you circle your leg out to the side, trying to keep the weight in the opposite buttock. So when I circle the leg over to the right, the left buttock's going to want to lift. So before I circle, I'm going to focus on that left buttock being pressed down and try and hold it down to keep the pelvis still. The breath coming in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, circle it around, big or small. Now if you feel the circle is big and your hips are moving, make the circle smaller. It's not about making a big circle, it's then able to hold the trunk of your body still, holding that connection into your core, and you have one more on each side. Slow breath in, breathe out into the circle. One more time here, in through your nose, out through the mouth. Hold the back of your thighs, nodding your chin. Push the legs forward so it engages your abdominals, then nodding the chin and slowly roll forward when you're ready. And then let's do the leg on the other side. So we're going to come into the obliques and the inner thighs first. We'll come into our side lying position. Underneath arm extended or elbow bent and forward with a head resting on a cushion or a block here. If you've got the underneath arm extended, palm is up so you're not tempted to hold onto the floor for dear life. Lengthen the back of the neck, so the chin just slightly drawing into the throat, the crown of the head's pulling towards the fingers on the ground. Top shoulder rolls back and you're slotting that shoulder blade down into the rib cage. Your top leg, we try and make that a little bit longer. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lift your top leg, no higher than the hip. Bottom foot just hovers. And then we scissor the legs. Now we think about the pelvis. So trying to keep the pelvis still and the hips stacked. Sometimes we make these scissor legs way too big. They really don't need to be big, so you can concentrate on the stability first. And again, that movement from your hip joints. Shoulders still back in set position. Again, try and have that sensation that you're making your top leg a fraction longer than your bottom leg. So you can check that bottom rib isn't pressing down into the ground. Almost lifting your waist slightly away from the floor so it engages the underneath of your body. So the stability muscles on the underside are working to stabilise the spine, and they work even harder as we start to move the legs. If everything's starting to wobble, just a little bit smaller, breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Just notice how relaxed your top shoulder is. Try and keep rolling it back and keep the hand as light as possible. 2 more in each direction. And then once more each way. And then we hold in centre. Bottom leg comes up to the top leg still just level with the hip. We lower to a hover and we lift. Breathing in, out on the rise. Give yourself time to think about that bottom rib. Pull the bottom rib slightly up off the floor. And as you lift your legs, really focus on trying to hold that bottom rib slightly up. Just noticing the feet, the thighs aren't separating. Stretching away through that top leg still to help us keep this bottom rib lifted. And the reason we stretch that top leg away is so it pulls the pelvis into place. So the pelvis itself stays stacked rather than those top hips sliding up towards the rib. 3 to go. 2 on the out breath. And then your last one. And then resting your legs down. From there, roll onto your back again. Oh no, sorry, bring the underneath arm forward. Let's enjoy the stretch. Bring the knees forward so the knees are in a clamp position. And your top leg, I've just muted myself, haven't I? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I just muted myself. My head was a bit too heavy then. So you've got both knees forwards, both arms out in front and shoulder away from the ear. Rest the head if you can. When you're ready, taking the arm over the head, turn up the palm, roll onto the back of the head so nose points to ceiling and circle through the stretch in your shoulder. Cross the front of the shoulder and the front of your chest. And then you bring your hand back into centre. So again, we breathe in, roll into the back of the head, soft elbow. Feel the opening comes from the front of the shoulder, your palm facing the ceiling. The more we keep the palm facing up to the ceiling, especially as the hand rolls back, the more stretch we're going to feel into the chest and the shoulder. Almost pulling the elbow down towards the rib cage and then closing the arm when the hand's just below shoulder level. So big breath in as you open. Roll into the back of the head, looking up to the ceiling. Relax the arm, relax the shoulder. Just check again your front knee, your top knee. Keep it gently pushed forward so the knees stay aligned. Again, feel it's the head rolling. If you need that cushion beneath your head, please put the cushion underneath the head. And 2 more here. So you can let the arm feel a little heavier. Maybe trying to take the back of the hand along the ground, but with still a soft elbow. You'll feel that point where your hand comes off the floor, and that's where you feel the deepest stretch. If it doesn't get onto the floor to begin with, that's fine. But if you can, try to get the back of the hand now to slide along the floor, keeping that front knee pushed forward. Keep sliding the hand along the floor with a soft elbow, palm up, and you'll feel that place the hand starts to lift. That's when we feel a deeper stretch. Hold it for a few seconds here. Take a breath in, breathe out, let the arm come a little bit lower, and then bring your hand back in to the centre. Roll onto your back again when you're ready. So bringing the feet back to hip distance, knees in line with hips, chin slightly nodded in. From here we become some little crunches. Hands reach down towards your fingers. That doesn't make sense. Your hands reach down towards your heels. What meant your fingers reach down? Same thing. You're in neutral spine, your chin is nodded in. Shoulders away, we think about the ribs. You're going to nod the chin in, slide the hands down and reach to your heels. Now turn your palms up and open the arms. Bring the hands back towards your thighs, turn the palms down and then roll back through the spine. Start from the chin, nodding the chin. For the head lift, slide the hands towards the heels. That helps you use the upper abdominals. Turn up your palms and open both arms at the same time. Come back to the heels, turn your palms down and relax. So before you lift, nodding the chin. Before you lift, slide the hands, reach to your ankles. Then let that natural roll come through the spine. Keep in a neutral position as we open the arms. Hands come back into the centre, palms down, and then we roll back down. That's option number 1. Option number 2. Same thing, chin nods in as you reach your ankles, you lift, you turn up your palms, Your right heel slides out. As your arms open, then you come back to centre. Then your left heel slides out as your arms open. Then we come back to centre, palms down, and then roll down. If you find it difficult, you can always place one hand behind the head, letting the weight of the head sit into the hand. Turn up the palm. You slide your right leg out as you open one arm, and then come to centre, and then do the same arm again as your left leg slides out. And if you've got one hand behind the head, as you roll down, you change hands. Palm facing down, chin in. Try not to pull the head forward with the hands. Just let the weight of the head sit into the hand a little. Turn up your palm or palms. Slide your right leg away. And then come back into the centre. Then slide your left leg away. Come back into the centre and slowly roll back down. We've got two more. Try and feel the hands slide, reach and try to touch the heels. Let the chin then nod in. Open up the chest as you turn your palms up. Try and hold a neutral spine as you slide the leg away. So we're trying to keep that little pocket of air between our lower back and our mats. Palms face down, and you gently roll down. We're going to do that one more time. Slide and reach. Open the chest as you turn up your palms. Breathe in, taking thumbs out, just a wide V. Foot lightly onto an eggshell. As you slide the opposite leg, keep the foot on the eggshell in the centre. Turn down your palms, hold here and pulse for 10. Not the head, relax the neck and try and pulse from your rib cage. It's like you're just pulling the ribs a little closer towards the hips, not the head being pulled forwards. So chin is nodded in, neck is relaxed, tailbone pressed to the floor for 3, 2, 1, and then a slow release. Chin in, head and shoulders come down. Both knees now come back above the hips. Starting from a neutral spine. We're going to bring the knees out wide and we're going to have the heels together in this V position. So the toes are turned out to make a V, the heels are together, and your knees are then just a little bit wider than your hips. Imagine you're holding a £20 note between your heels. Keeping our spine in a soft imprint. We're going to breathe in, let the knees come in, and then breathe out, push the legs out to about 45 degrees so your knees seal together. You're breathing in, opening the knees as wide as you can with the heels together, and then breathe out, keeping that soft imprint as you extend the legs. If you feel that when you extend your legs, your back lifts off the floor, don't take the legs low, keep them high. So again, it's not about how far we take the legs, it's about bracing our core and keeping that contact between the back and the mat. The idea of keeping our heels together and getting our knees out wide is to engage our hips more. So with that turnout, we've got more connection to our outer thighs and to our glutes. Just a few different muscles that we get to switch on. Check the ribs aren't flaring as you extend the legs. Hold the ribs down, keep the back in that soft imprint. The lower we take the legs, the harder it is for our core to keep our back in place. So if you feel that back's lifting, you're feeling more coming into your back than your tummy, legs higher. Now this time, we bring the knees in, we hold them here. Palms are up, keep the knees turned out. I'm going to come into a little roll back and then rolling back through the spine and then extending your legs. So this first move, knees open, heels are together. Peel the bottom a little, roll down through the spine and then extend the legs, squeezing knees and thighs together. Again, remember you can take the legs higher if you prefer. You might feel that you can roll a little further back. So working within the range, that feels right for your spine. Breathe in as you roll back. Breathe out as you roll down. Keep breathing out, push away with the feet. Heels still together the whole way through. If your heels come apart, don't go any further. Definitely good. Just stretch out the spine. Now when you roll down through the spine, don't let your bottom just drop. Try and control each vertebrae down. And use the back of your shoulders. Press the back of the shoulders into the floor. You can use the back of the arms to help you lift, and then try and relax the arms and feel it's more of a controlled movement through the spine to release. One more time. In through the nose, and then out through the mouth. Bracing, holding. When you're ready, take the feet back to parallel and bring your knees in. That's so much harder than it looks. Right. From here, bringing the feet down nice and close. Let's come to our hip bridges. So knees in line with hips. Let's bring up the arms, turn your palms in, and we're going to go to our knee drops. So I want to retract the shoulders so you can feel both shoulders getting pressed into the floor, and we're going to roll up through our spine. Squeeze the bottom, holding neutral. Your right knee opens a little out to the side, into the centre, then your left knee into the centre, and then roll back down through the spine. When we open the knee, try not to let the hips move. So you're going to squeeze the bottom as you open from the hip. Keep the bottom squeezed, chin is in, and placing each vertebrae back down. Breathe out through the mouth and the rise. Press down through the back of the shoulders. Breathe in as you open. Breathe out to close. Now you can stay with just the knee opening, or you can layer in the opposite arm. So again, as we're bringing the opposite arm, your midsection, your core, has to work harder to stabilise as you move the arm and leg. So does your brain. Mine's not working very well this morning. Chin is in, placing each vertebrae down gently, imprint to your neutral. Elbows are soft and relaxed. And sometimes when we reach the arms up, we almost lift the back of the shoulders off the floor. If you lift the shoulders off the floor, you're going to be trying to balance more on the centre of the back. It's much easier to retract your shoulders and have two shoulders to balance on at the top of that hip bridge. And as you're drawing the shoulders back, it's encouraging more connection, more engagement, more stability through the upper back. And that way we're encouraging the whole back of the body to work. Just try and make sure the head doesn't tilt back here. Breathe in as you open. Breathe out as you close. Breath in on the opening. Breathe out to close. And then a soft breath in as you release. Give me your last two here. Feel the back of the shoulders. Keep pressing them down nice and firm. Opening from the hip, but keeping the pelvis perfectly still. That pelvic stability a lot comes from our glutes. So before you even think about opening the knee, squeeze the bottom, feel the shoulders. Breathe in as you open. Breathe out to close. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and a soft breath in to release. Again, hugging the knees, one knee comes in and the other. So as you draw the knees gently in towards the chest, you can circle them around just to release the hips off. Going in one direction and then change direction when you're ready. From here, hold the back of your knees or the back of your thighs. Chin is in, push the feet forward, nodding the chin, and roll about 2/3 of the way up. Hold. Now we're going to roll down just an inch or two, and then we're going to roll forward. We're set in a C shape, so the belly button, is drawn through to the spine. We're not changing the position of the spine. We're letting our body weight ease back, and then push our feet forward towards the floor just to a hover. Breathing in, breathe out, push the feet forwards. And gently pushing the thighs into the back of the hand, as to push yourself forwards. You're looking forward, not down towards the hips. Like they've got little books, still balanced on the head. 2 more each way. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Come all the way up this time and into seated. Stretching out the legs and the hips. So what I want you to do from here is take your feet nice and wide. Turn both knees to the right, so you roll onto the edge of your feet. When you look at your knees, you've got both knees at 90 degrees. Then you're going to turn your chest so it lines up with your right thigh and your right hand above your knee. Left hand can just sit on your ankle or on the floor. Roll your right shoulder back and try and turn your shoulders so they're square to the side of the room. Don't round the back, lift your chest up. So you're lifting the front of the rib cage and pressing down through the knee. Now without rounding the back, keep your chest up and hinge forward gently from the hip so you find a little bit more release into the hip. Now I've got that stretch here. People have a tendency to want to come here like this in a rounded back. We're stretching all the muscles we've spent time strengthening. So let's keep the strength and the length through the back. And as we tip forward, it's stretching, opening up the hip. Now you can gently turn your shoulders towards the back of the room and glance over your right shoulder. So you can lift your ribs just that little bit higher. And you should feel as you almost lift your heart, lift your ribs, and press down with the knee. We've got more stretch and release in the right hip. It's quite nice. And then square yourself back into the centre. And then when you're ready, shoulders come back above hips. Knees come back wide. From here, roll both knees to the floor. Square the chest with your left thigh. Left hand just above the knee, so you can feel the weight of the hand into the ground, and right hand to the ankle. Lengthen your spine. Open up the chest, draw the shoulder blades back. So as you tip forward, I don't want your shoulders to close at the front. I want to see how far you can comfortably hinge forward while keeping your collarbones really lengthened and open. Again, I've got that stretch here. If I bend my back, yeah, I can come all the way down here and I don't feel a single thing in my hip. The more we keep our spine in that lengthened neutral position, the more we're stretching the correct muscles. If you can lift your rib cage just a fraction higher and maybe lean forwards rather than rounding the back. Press down with the knee a little so it opens the hip more. You can turn if you want to increase the stretch ever so slightly, but don't just turn with the head, try and turn your rib cage and still keep your rib cage lifted. There it is, right into that hip. Take a big breath in. Breathe out, see if your out breath allows you to ease a little further forwards. That's a well-deserved stretch. And then squaring your shoulders back into the centre and then rise back up. Legs come behind, hands shoulder apart. If we can, coming up onto the hands and knees, into our box position. Cat to cow with a little shell stretch in between. So if you tuck your toes here, it's going to stretch the soles of your feet too. If that's not comfortable, your toes can be flat. Into your cat stretch first. Draw the belly up, tucking the chin. Then pull your hips back towards your heels, keep the chin nodded in. As your shoulders come forward, lift your eye gaze, lift your ribcage. And again, belly lifts, chin tucks in, pull hips back towards the heels. And then come forward and lift up through your chest and your heart. Find the cat stretch first. Tuck under the bottom. Keep the bottom gently tucked under as you ease back. And then as you come forward, ribcage lifts. Come into a flat back into your neutral spine. Toes are tucked under. When you're ready, take the weight back onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees lots. And as you straighten your legs, take a stride forward with one foot. And then the opposite foot strides forward. If that's difficult, walk back with the hands. Relax the neck, don't look forward. Try and look back towards your thighs. The knees are soft and the weights do the heels. We breathe at the length of the spine.
As you breathe out, try and allow your head to feel a little heavier, your shoulders to relax, but keep softly lifting the belly button up towards the lower back. So you can walk the hands up the shins, or you can just let the arms hang as we rise, but do keep the knees soft. Chin is into chest, tailbone starts to tuck under, and try and look back towards your thighs as you roll up through your spine. Keep your chin tucked in as you work all the way back up through the length of the spine, and the shoulders roll back and down. Finishing with a little wrap from side to side. No tension in the shoulders, let the arms and the shoulders just relax, naturally swinging and wrapping around your body. And once more to your left, relaxing the centre and pulling at the shoulders and letting them go. And again, breathe in with the lift and out to release. And ladies, give yourselves a round of applause. Well worked. My back feels so much looser after that. Oh, just what I needed this